And look, while everyone is screaming in the comments about 50-year mortgages, Jerome Powell is in the back room quietly designing purple $3 bills. Not literally, but close enough, because while you're arguing about whether a 50-year mortgage is financial slavery, and to be fair, you're not entirely wrong if you are, here's the terrifying thing almost nobody is noticing. If you are focusing on how long the loan is, you are missing the invisible fire that Jerome Powell just lit under your savings account. Because the rules of money didn't just change, they were quietly rewritten while you were arguing about interest rates. And if you are still playing by the debt is bad, cash is king rulebook that your grandpa gave you, you are spectacularly screwing yourself. So here is why the game is rigged, and crucially, how you can stop being the loser. Let's start with the rage. And there is so much rage. I mean, just scroll through any YouTube video about 50-year mortgages and the comments section looks like a digital riot. People are saying, my dad told me never take a loan longer than 30 years, or I'd rather live in a van than pay a bank until I'm 95. And I get it. The idea of paying for a porch until the sun explodes feels objectively nauseating. But here is the twist. Most of those comments aren't doing math. They're doing morality. They believe that debt is sin and savings are virtue. But hold on. That advice worked in a world where your money was tied to gold. Companies gave you pensions, and you died at 72 from eating too much red meat and smoking on airplanes. That world is gone. Now, before the finance purists in the comments come for my head, let's look at the ugly math. Because the haters have a point. If you look at a 50-year amortization schedule, it looks like a crime scene. On a $500,000 loan over 50 years, you're going to pay the bank back something like $1.5 million. If you are Dave Ramsey, you are looking at that number and vomiting into a bucket of rice and beans. And you should be. If dollars stayed the same value forever, this loan would be financial suicide. But here's the thing, dollars don't stay the same, and the Federal Reserve has decided that keeping the dollar stable is no longer the top priority. For decades, the Fed's magic number for inflation was 2%. That was the leak they allowed in your savings bucket. So if you left $100,000 under your mattress for 30 years at 2% inflation, it would shrink to about $55,000 in buying power. That is already bad. That is losing half your life's work just for standing still. But wait, because quietly, very quietly, Wall Street and the Fed have basically stopped fighting for 2%. They are running the economy hot. The new quiet target is closer to 3%. And you might think, Matt, 2%, 3%, who cares? It's 1%. It's not 1%. And you should care, because at 3% inflation, that same $100,000 doesn't drop to $55,000. It drops to $41,000. That is the rule change. Your money has a self-destruct timer that is ticking 50% faster than it used to. So when you say, I'm going to save up cash and avoid debt, you are essentially trying to fill a bathtub while Jerome Powell is actively drilling holes in the bottom of it. And honestly, at this point, with all the goalposts shifting and quiet rule changes, I wouldn't be surprised if next week they just announced that your dollars actually are now purple. Yeah, purple, because why not? If they can quietly make it lose value faster, they can certainly decide it should now look like it's been run through a grape-flavored printer. It's still a dollar, technically, but it feels like something entirely new, doesn't it? And this brings us back to the mortgage. And this is where the math flips, the purple money. This isn't just a joke about printer ink either. It's the math that saves you. You see, in year one of this mortgage, you are paying the bank $2,500 of these hard-earned, valuable $2,025. But in year 40, you are still writing a check for $2,500, but by then, thanks to the Fed, you are paying them back in these silly purple dollars. You see, in year 40, $2,500 might buy you a tank of gas and a sandwich. So yeah, the total number of dollars you pay is huge, but the value of the dollars you are giving them at the end, it's tiny. You are borrowing gold today and paying them back in confetti later. That is the trade. You are shifting the destruction of inflation off yourself and onto the lender. Now look, I'm not telling you to go get a 50-year mortgage to buy a depreciating asset like a boat or a luxury car or a pallet of bomb pops. That is financial suicide. But if you're buying a living asset like a house or a rental property, using long-term fixed debt is the only legal way to let inflation make you rich instead of making you poor. You gotta stop thinking like a victim who is being priced out and start thinking like an operator who just found the glitch in the matrix. You see, when you understand that they are debasing the currency, you don't hide. You don't retreat to cash. You realize that fixed debt is the weapon they gave you to fight back. You are effectively waking up in the alley, realizing you know Kung Fu, and turning the system's own weight against it. And here is the final secret about that 50-year mortgage. Nobody actually keeps it for 50 years. You aren't marrying the loan, you're dating it. You use the 50-year term to get the payment low enough to survive today. Then in 5 or 7 years, maybe sooner, when your income is up and the house is worth more, you refinance, you sell, you move on. It's not a life sentence. It's a life raft. Use it to stay afloat while the Fed floods the rest of the economy. But here's the trap door that opens right when you think you've won. Because once you decide to play this game, the sharks, they smell blood. You go looking for these living assets, especially the done-for-you turnkey ones that promise to make this easy. And you realize the industry is absolutely infested with scams. If you buy the wrong asset, the inflation hedge doesn't matter because the house itself is a money pit. And that is exactly why I pulled this video out for you right here. It shows you the specific red flags that expose a shady turnkey operator before you sign a single paper. We go through the exact questions you need to ask to tell the difference between a legit inflation shield and a disaster waiting to happen. Because the math only works if the house actually stands up. I'll see you in there.